Welcome to Football Daily, where today we're looking at 10 outstanding youngsters due to explode this season. Let's get into it. 10. Evan Ferguson. Evan Ferguson announced himself last year with 8 goal involvements in the Prem for Brighton, notching one every 119 minutes to earn himself a €50 million valuation, one which could double if he repeats the trick as a starter. Among under-20s, only Lavia and Wilfred Gnonto earned more Premier League minutes than Ferguson in 22-23, and his 3.4 shots per 90 was elite too, the same as Salah and Kane, and with a slightly higher proportion coming from inside the box than the England man. In fact, Ferguson's 0.6 xG per 90 rated 19th in the league, between Martinelli and Foden, and while Brighton can juice their forwards' numbers, Danny Welbeck sits 11th, it's exceptionally rare to do so young. Ferguson is also getting the perfect education in possession football, placing in the top 7% of strikers for pass completion, and his dribble success and key pass stats back up the sense we get from the eye test. This is an unusually calm and skillful youngster who also happens to be 6'2". It's easy to dream on an 18-year-old with this profile. With not only top flight but also Europa League football to showcase his ability, Ferguson should get plenty of minutes, and without the weight of expectation that comes with an established super club. Brighton are in for a fun year. 9. Andrey Santos. Signed for €12.5 million from Vasco da Gama in January and immediately loaned back, Andrey Santos was expected to spend the coming campaign in similar fashion, the usual path for a 19-year-old straight out of Brazil. But the departures of Kovacic, Kante, Mount and Loftus-Cheek have left Chelsea's midfield thin, and Santos' own impressive work has put him in contention for real first-team minutes. Santos has just 6 appearances in Brazil's top flight, but his defensive numbers instantly popped, with close to 6 tackles and interceptions a game, while he's clearly got an eye for goal too, netting 9 in his last 39 competitive matches. Admittedly a foul machine, giving away 3 free kicks a game, he'll at least add an aggression Chelsea have lost in recent years. Santos' willingness to tangle with established players like Dahoud and Lallana in pre-season indicates that he has the confidence to challenge new siding Caicedo, vital in a team too content with mediocrity under Potter and Lampard. There's no guarantee he will stay at Stamford Bridge, but Andrey Santos has gone from under the radar to firmly on it in the space of 3 friendlies. Imagine what he can do with a year in Europe. 8. Bradley Barcola. Just like Brighton, Lyon make player development look easy. In the last decade, Lyon have sold 9 players for over €25 million, almost all academy products. And once again, they're firing up the factory, with the 6 most valuable members of their squad according to Transfermarkt all academy graduates, and the top 4, 23 or under. Perhaps the most unknown of those 4 is winger Bradley Barcola, but that'll change very soon. The 20-year-old, who can also play up front, broke into the starting lineup last year and bagged 13 goal involvements in just 1,400 minutes, tally beaten by only 2 players younger than him across Europe's top 5 leagues, Eli Wahi and Jamal Musiala. His 0.5 expected goals a game was not quite as stratospheric, but still outstanding for a youngster, and he showed good work rate and ball carrying ability too, rating the top quarter of tackles for dribbles, defensive actions and progressive passes received, all the hallmarks of the modern two-way wide man. That's earned interest from Man City and PSG, and Lyon have reportedly already rejected €30 million from the capital club. But whatever happens, don't be surprised to see Barcola in the French squad come Euro 2024. 7. Hamed Junior Traore. Bournemouth were lucky to stay up last year. The Cherry scored 37 goals in 38 games, and only Leeds and Southampton allowed more, where their XG difference per game was the worst in the Prem, but some clutch finishing secured their place in the top flight for 23-24, and they're making smart moves in the transfer market to avoid another dogfight come May. Since January, they paid fees for 7 players with an average age of 22, and most exciting among them is Hamed Junior Traore, who becomes their second most expensive signing ever at €26 million. The Ivorian is only 23 but has 5 caps and 140 Serie A appearances, and in limited minutes since January led Bournemouth in chances created, passes into the box and progressive passes, as well as shot creating actions, tackles and interceptions, and successful dribbles. That's so good it's unlikely to last. But even if Traore sinks a little in every category, he'll be one of the most rounded midfielders in the Prem. And given his age, there's reason to hope he can actually be even better. Under Andoni Iraola, whose Rayo Vallecano were 3rd in Spain for pressing high last year, Traore's range of skills and excellent engine should make him indispensable. After Lavia and Livramento, he could be the next star to emerge on the south coast. 6. Arda Guler. Arda Guler became Real Madrid's 3rd Turkish player ever in July, though it's unclear whether following in the footsteps of Nuri Sahin and Hamit Altintop will increase or decrease the pressure. The 18-year-old, who can play as a number 10 or as a winger, has just 51 club appearances to his name but already 4 international caps, and turned down Barcelona to join Real in a €20 million deal, yet another sign that despite their title last year, the Blaugrana can't compete with their Castilian rivals. Guler may not have a long track record, but what he does have is great, with a goal or assist every 91 minutes for Fenerbahce, where he ranked 8th in the Super League for shots per game last year, 2nd for dribbles completed, and 1st for chances created. A pretty solid argument that he has superstar potential. His versatility should benefit him too, with Ancelotti experimenting with a host of midfield and attacking setups last year. And though injury has his Spanish spell off to a bad start, it could mean he arrives fresh at just the right moment, with Vinny and Rodrigo playing 55 and 57 games respectively for the club last term, and sure to tire after Christmas. Given Madrid's recent hit rate, you wouldn't bet against Guler being another smash. 5. Nicolas Jackson. Given their huge expenditure since 2022, it's strange that Chelsea's hopes rest on a few youngsters making leaps in 23-24. The Blues have lost vets like Mendy, Kante, Kovacic and Aspi this summer, plus Havertz and Mount. And while they remain interested in Dusan Vlahovic, their point man at present is former Villarreal man Nicolas Jackson, a 22-year-old who arrived for €37 million in July. The Senegalese made only 16 starts for the Yellow Submarine last term, but in that time registered 12 goals and 4 assists, outscoring and creating every Chelsea player over the last 12 months. Only Havertz took more shots than his 2.3 per 90, and no one had more XG. But Jackson showed an ability to drop deep and build, as well as popping up in the danger zone, with enough progressive carries to place 5th at Stamford Bridge, and more touches in the box than everyone bar Havertz again and Raheem Sterling. With a 6'2" frame, pace to burn, and 5 goal involvements in 3 preseason games, Jackson has shown he's not just here to make up the numbers. 4. Charles de Ketelaere. It's not the most obvious breakout pick, a forward who delivered just 1 assist and no goals in 32 appearances last season. But Charles de Ketelaere, now on his way to Atalanta with an option to buy, is too talented to write off, and there are reasons in the numbers to think he could surprise. The Belgian, just 22 and standing nearly 6'4", never got off the ground at Milan in 22-23, starting just 9 times, and even by XG he underwhelmed, racking up just 4 expected goals, a far cry from 20 and 31 the previous year for Club Bruges. But that's not the whole story. In a disjointed Milan side, de Ketelaere showed good ball security, rating 2nd amongst the forwards for pass completion, while managing 5 progressive passes and 1.5 passes into the penalty area each game, in the top 15 and 25% of attackers respectively. He also won possession more often than all the other forwards, and ranked 1st in the squad for dribbles, beating his man 3 times per 90 at an amazing 61% clip. A strong overall profile which could fit well into Atalanta, a team which maximises versatile attackers, and has the perfect role available for the youngster after selling Malinovsky. Much like Lucas Paquetá, de Ketelaere may feel freer away from the boiling cauldron of the San Siro, and with 12 months of Serie A experience under his belt, he'll be ready to hit the ground running under Gianpiero Gasperini. 3. Desire Doue. It's an old joke by now to point out that France could field 3 world-class 11s, but if anything, it looks like the situation will only get worse for their international rivals. Youngsters like Camavinga, Saliba and Badiashile are only just establishing themselves with Le Bleu, and behind them are yet more of the most promising prospects in the game, including Desire Doue, a midfielder with Rennes who has just turned 18, but already has a full year of top-flight football to his name. Completing lots of dribbles is rare, and most players who do so also fail with plenty. Vinicius Jr., for example, beats his man 3.6 times a game, but loses the ball on another 6 occasions. So Doué's numbers almost look like cheating. The 18-year-old averaged 4 successful take-ons a match, with a 61% completion to Vinny's 37. And that's not the only eyebrow raiser in his stats. Doué receives more progressive passes than 96% of midfielders, gets more touches in the box than 92%, and wins the ball over 4 times per 90, buzzing around the pitch. But we expect him to settle into an attacking 8 role, his smart movement earning him 4 goal contributions in 11 starts last season. Half a decade youngster than Aurelien Tchouameni, Doué has plenty of time to develop his skills, but guys like this don't hang around. Another year or 2 like the last one, and he'll be wearing a more illustrious club shirt. 2. James Trafford. Young goalkeepers are rare at the highest level. In 22-23, only 3 keepers aged under 23 earned more than 1,000 minutes in one of the top 5 leagues, and of those, only one saved his team more goals than XG would predict, Lille's Lucas Chevalier. So Burnley's €17 million scoop for James Trafford from Man City's academy is a huge gamble, likely to herald the arrival of a major talent between the sticks, or consign the Clarets to an uphill relegation battle. For a 20-year-old without a top-flight appearance, Trafford does have excellent pedigree. The Englishman, who stands 6'6", spent the last 18 months on loan at Bolton and earned their Young Player of the Year award, as well as winning the 2023 Under-21 Euros with his country. Across 67 starts for the Trotters, he's kept 29 clean sheets. That's a 43% rate, and he's conceded just 54 goals. And those experiences come at a lower level, he's got plenty of it, racking up over 6,000 minutes of senior football, only about 1,000 less than £77 million Man City new boy Josko Gvardiol. Having made big bets on Vincent Kompany and a youthful squad, Burnley are staying true to their newfound principles this summer. We hope it works out for them and for Trafford. 1. Vitor Roque. Since signing Neymar way back in 2013, Barcelona have tried many times to repeat the trick, sending €75 million to Brazil in the decade since in return for such superstars as Yerry Mina, Arda and Emerson Royale. But now they've almost doubled that overnight, dropping €60 million to sign Atletico Paranaense striker Vitor Roque, who was born in 2005, the same year new teammate Lewandowski was making a senior debut in the Polish fourth tier. It's unclear whether FFP will allow Roque to join the Barcelona squad this summer, but either way, he's likely to see his reputation enhanced over the next 12 months, as Barcelona's investment brings new eyes, and he seeks to add to his single international cap ahead of the Copa America. He's already shining domestically, sitting second in the Brazilian scoring charts at the time of writing, and as well as a goal involvement every 107 Serie A minutes, he's made his mark on the continental stage, making the Copa Libertadores team of the tournament in 2022, as his club reached just the second final in their 99-year history. At the time, he was only 17. In a division once again dominated by Brazilians, Roque will be keen to make his mark. Barcelona will hope he can rival the success of Rodrigo and Vinicius. So guys, that was our rundown of 10 Wonderkids set to explode in 23-24. What did you guys think of the list, and who did we miss out? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to Football Daily, and I'll catch you later in the week.